Good morning. Welcome to Morning Meditation. I'm Pastor Phil. We're out here at St. Paul's on the bench. It's absolutely wonderful to have you here. Good morning, welcome to Morning Meditation. I'm Pastor Phil. It's absolutely spectacular for you to be here, and we continue on today looking at the book of Galatians as we hear Paul giving us various encouragements and commands. And today we're into Galatians chapter 4, and we're beginning with the 8th verse. However, at that time, when you did not know God, you were slaves to those which by nature are no gods. But now that you have come to know God, or rather to be known by God, how is it that you turn back again to the weak and worthless elemental things, to which you desire to be enslaved all over again? You observe days and months and seasons and years. I fear for you that perhaps I have labored over you in vain. I beg you, brethren, become as I am, for I also have become as you are. You have done me no wrong. But you know that it was because of a bodily illness that I preached the gospel to you the first time, and that which was a trial to you in my bodily condition you did not despise or loathe, but you received me as an angel of God, as Christ Jesus himself. Paul says a lot in that little section, but the one thing that I really want to kind of focus on, and it's something that maybe in our world today is really worth keeping track of, is the fact that Paul speaks to the church at Galatia having received him, and that as they received him, they showed Jesus Christ in their actions. Now, receiving him was something a little bit different than a lot of folks that we'll actually deal with today. For him, it was he had some sort of bodily injury, and I'll be honest, I don't know what it is. Anything that we would know would be an approximated guess, some better, some worse. But in the end, we don't really know, other than what he says, that he had a bodily sickness, a bodily injury, and as he was suffering through it, he rested in Galatia, and the Christians there cared for him. And as they cared for him, they showed him Jesus Christ. They showed that Christian virtue of caring for your neighbor that Jesus calls us to do, that the Old Testament and New Testament calls us to do. And we hear that this is exactly what they did for Paul. So we contemplate this in terms of our more modern world, because the reality is we don't receive many people this way very often. It's just not something that we do. But what we do is we receive people in our day-to-day lives. Now, what I mean by this is kind of twofold, and I want to focus on one over the other. On one side of the reception, there's a negative aspect, and this is the one I don't want to spend a lot of time on. But this is the idea of what you receive and what you bring into your house. And this is an aspect of spiritual warfare. The things that you watch on television, the things that you watch on or you listen to on the radio, the things that you see on YouTube or on the internet, these are all things that you receive as you see them, and then they enter into your house. They enter into you as you watch, listen, view, whatever. Now, on the other end of it, there's a little bit more practical and immediate sense of what it means to receive someone. And that might be something as simple as playing with a baby in the grocery store aisle or the cashier lane while a mom is trying to figure out how everything is supposed to ring through. It might be sitting and listening to a coworker who's going through a divorce and they're just having a really hard time. It could be just taking a moment and having fun with a friend who just needs a break. Now, in all these cases, we receive people in the same way that Christ receives us. Christ receives us, and his work is done through us to the world around us, and our lives become the very testimony of his love. And this is what Paul tells us, is that because the church in Galatia received him, they showed Christ-like love. And all those examples that I gave a minute ago and that you probably could run with yourself and give more, as we receive people into our lives and we show them Christ-like love, we're doing the same thing the church at Galatia did, and we do it because of the fact that we're adopted as sons, that the Spirit of God is upon us, and then we therefore go forward inside of that. So as you go into your day to day, what I want you to keep in mind is that you and I are the children of God. You're a son or a daughter of the Most High, just like I am. And as we go forward, we receive people into our lives. And as we receive them, we share the gospel message in an extraordinary, I'm happy that doesn't happen on Sunday very often, and wonderful way. May God bless you and go in peace.